Hi everyone, my name is Lukas and it is my pleasure to introduce to you today the Siemens mobile team with our customer Asa and our project lead Zardosh. Our team, who is currently setting up the garden here, has been working really hard on making this happen and figuring out the project requirements. And well, I don't want to spoil for you, so please take it away. Yifeng.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about imagination. As humans, it is something we are all born with. In fact, you can argue that it is one of those things that makes us human in the first place, as opposed to mere machines. At the same time, though, we live in an increasingly complex world where increasingly we rely on software to help us create and design the things we want to create and we want to design. So we have to ask ourselves this question: what will the relationship between the human designer and his software be in the future, in 10, 20 years, when you're in the middle of your career? Will they be enemies? Will the human have to fear for his own replacement by the machine constantly? Or is there another way, a better way, where we harness the power of modern technology to help the human actually become a better designer, a better creator, a better thinker in his own right? And that's the vision we believe in here, and that's why I'm super proud to show you our app today, iMagine. iMagine is first and foremost a design platform based on augmented reality. It creates a collaborative world where designers can share their ideas with each other. And most importantly, it is a tool for machine-driven inspiration. And what this all means, we'll show you by the example of designing a children's playground. And for that, we have a short film for you. Thank you. Thank you. So now that you've seen our trailer, I want to talk to you about our concept in more detail. So as you can see, we have 4 main use cases. The first of which is creating the world using augmented reality. And to that end, users can select objects from a library, which they then place and they can move. But they can also record the movement, the motion of their own body and place this anywhere they want in the world. The second major use case is collaboration. Our app is built from the ground up to support collaboration in all of its features, meaning that once users have hosted or joined a session, they can then edit objects in that session and have these edits reflected instantaneously to all of their colleagues. The third major use case is simulation. So I said earlier that the main idea for our app is a tool for machine-driven inspiration. And we really want users to be able to see the world they created come alive and see the dynamic model and not just the static model, which means that in our case, once users click on a button to start the simulation, they can see virtual avatars move around the objects that they've already created. They can see these avatars perform the actions they themselves recorded. And if they want to share this experience with friends off-site, they can record the simulation as a movie and export it. The last but by no means least important use case of our app is the automatic generation of user stories. So you all know what user stories are, I hope. And in our app, designers can basically create a new user story by typing or dictating the beginning, and this user story will then be auto-completed by a state-of-the-art neural network, which completes the story based on the objects that the user already placed in the world. And in this way, the user is constantly getting new ideas about what to do next from the app. And on that note, I'd like to hand over to Anna to talk about the structure of our app.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to present to you how all of this glues together into the analysis object model. So I would like you to imagine that you are a designer and that you want to use our app. So the first thing you want to do is you want to create a project. And after you do this, you dive right into the world. So picture the world as the camera view of your device, and everything you can see from there is the world. And now you want to create the virtual playground, and you want to do this by placing items into the world. So let's take a closer look to what these items actually are. So the first thing we have are the annotations. So that's basically a 2D text that you can write on your device, and then you can place it as a 3D object inside the world. After that, we have, of course, the playground objects. So for instance, a swing that you can place. And in the end, we have the recorded actions that Yifeng talked about. So we talked to you about the collaborative session that we want to offer you. And we decided to model this into the collaborative context by saving persistently the position of the co-designers that work together on the project and the items that are placed in the world. Now, we also talked about dynamics, and this is where the simulation has a role. So we want to have a simulation that has multiple avatars, and you can picture this better probably by imagining that these avatars are actually children running around the playground, not colliding with objects, and maybe interacting with them. So another thing that is important to us are time sequences. So we care about when we placed our items and what items we placed and what kind of simulation we could generate from it. So we model this with a state object. And now picture for a second that you've placed some objects inside the world and you're not quite satisfied about it yet. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to use the story. This is where the story pops up. It's just a small helper that will guide you through the process of the project in order to make it perfect. And in the end, when you feel like you're done, you can record a video of it and apply some filters to it so that you can impress your client anytime, anywhere, and actually anyone, not just the client. So now we're going to slightly transition to the demo. And just because we have a lot of components in our app, I would like to emphasize shortly what we want to show you today in the demo. So this will be placing items inside the world and how to inspire yourself through stories. And now, without further ado, I would like to hand over to Jessica and Safa to present you the demo.
Hello, everyone. I'm the mother of 3 beautiful children, Anna, Yifeng, and Barush. We have a pretty large backyard in our house. So one day I thought, why not use it as a playground for the kids? And for that reason, I hired a designer. He should actually be here any minute. Any minute now. Oh, he's here. Shall we start? Let's start by exploring the area a little bit. How about placing a slide there, beside the tree? And another one there. You know, the kids love to fight, so let's put 2. Let's move around, maybe. Okay, we can go that direction, too. Let's try that again. Perfect. Let's also put a swing there. Let's take a few steps back. I need to see it from another perspective. Okay. So, on second thought, I feel like something might be missing. I need some inspiration. So my kids love playing with the seesaw. That's it. Please place a seesaw. Yes. Awesome. Wow, that was so easy. Thank you. What's your name again?
I imagine. You imagine?
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. That was our presentation. And now, questions from our beloved customer, Asa.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very impressed by what you've shown already. Maybe you could share a few words about some of the things that you didn't show, such as the capturing of motions, body motions, avatars, and things like that.
Exactly. So, thank you. We've actually been developing those features as well actively, and we've come to a state where we can soon implement them and integrate them into the main app, and you will see all of this in the client acceptance test. That's all I can say, so stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you.